Hey guys, this episode of Chalk Talk is about sizing air conditioner equipment. Okay, because we argue about this in just about every forum, just about every week. So AC sizing, it's actually a lot simpler than you guys think because all the information is provided for you on the nameplate. So where a lot of guys get hung up is they think an AC unit is a motor, there's a motor in there, so we must use Article 430 to size it. That is wrong. Yes, there is a motor, or sometimes multiple motors, in an AC unit. But AC units specifically fall under Article 440 for AC and refrigeration equipment. Okay? You're not going to use the 430, you're using 440. A lot of you guys want to do the math yourself and try to overcomplicate things on the nameplate because it'll provide the different the heater packs, the condensers, the fan motors, all that. It tells you separately, but at the bottom, it gives you the answer. There's no need for you guys to really, think it out that much. So, if you go to Article 440, in Article 440.4b, it says that these hermetically sealed, and hermetic means that it's airtight. The little capsule you look inside of a house air conditioner, it's got that reddish capsule, the compressor. It's sealed up airtight. Those pieces of equipment must have a nameplate that gives all the information on it. Okay? On that nameplate, we usually see MCA, minimum circuit ampacity, and MOCP, max overcurrent protection. Okay, there's a lot of other information, but when you go to the bottom of that nameplate, you find MCA, MOCP. Okay, those are very important because that gives you the answer. So, that nameplate required by 440.4b. In 440.6a, exception 1, it says if the nameplate has the information on it, you must use the nameplate. Don't do the math yourself. You use the nameplate. Okay? So, back to the nameplate. It's got a lot of information, but when you get to the bottom, most often the bottom, you'll see minimum circuit ampacity, which is what wire size you use for your branch circuit conductors. Then you'll also have MOCP. Max overcurrent protection, which tells you the fuse or breaker size. Okay, right now in the electrician layer, we are looking at one that has 29 amps for the minimum circuit ampacity. For the minimum circuit amps, you go to Article 310.15, B16. It's a table. That tells you 29 amps using number 10. The max overcurrent protection on theirs actually says max fuse 50, max circuit breaker 50. So you're putting a 50 amp breaker protecting number 10. The number 10 will survive the 29 amps. And the inrush is not going to melt the number 10 in the few seconds that it runs. The 50 amp breaker is there to provide the inrush protection without tripping the breaker. So it is perfectly acceptable for Article 440 to put a number 10 wire protected by a 50 amp breaker. The guys out there saying my inspector won't allow that, they probably just don't understand the code all the way. Okay? Another thing that guys are arguing about frequently, because on the small residential units, it'll say the minimum circuit ampacity is something like 25 amps, 24 amps. And a guy will say, put number 12 on it. Everyone goes to table 310.15b16. At the bottom, there's the two asterisks that we all see. And everybody knows about them. That takes you to 240.4d, article about small conductors. That says, when you go down the list, among other things, number 12 copper is only good for 20 amps. Okay? That is true in that situation. But if you continue to read 240.4, you get down to 240.4G. 240.4G says that you may, well, I'll tell you what it says. 240.4G. Overcurrent protection for specified conductor shall be permitted to be provided as referenced in Table 240.4G. The very first item listed is air conditioning and refrigeration equipment circuit conductors. So right there it tells you in 240.4G that the double asterisk in the table up here do not apply there. You can use alternate calculations. So basically, getting rid of all the math and fancy stuff, anyone who can read, I could take my son who's 6 out there, he could read this. You go to the nameplate. Minimum circuit ampacity is your wire size. Max overcurrent protection is your fuse or breaker size. That's all you got to do. Somebody a lot smarter than us already figured it out in the factory, and you guys are overthinking it too much. Just very simple stuff. Minimum circuit ampacity is your wire, your branch circuit. Max overcurrent protection, that's your GFI or your ground fault protection, overcurrent protection. That's what you put in. A lot simpler than everybody makes it out to be, guys. Hope that helped.